win over the Lakers. Keldon Johnson for three. He has played very well really all season long. Went through a bit of a shooting slump. Missed shot. Extended possession. HD up with it on the wing for three. Here is Poeltl. He's not a threat from out there. Only one of his shots have come from outside that painted area. Goes up top to Keldon Johnson with just 5 to shoot. Poeltl sets a screen. Johnson able to work down the lane and lays it in as he challenges Ivica Zubac at the iron.
More than half his body is behind the backboard.
Johnson with the first of 2, and we get a quick word from Jack in the box.
So here's the thing to try and figure out. 6 minutes for Kennard. Now when he goes and sits down, do you bring him back in the first half, or do you wait until he warms back up again at halftime?
McDermott to Johnson. Keldon couldn't get it to fall.
Clippers just 2 for 7 from above the arc here in this first quarter. Johnson, the drive with the dish. Good ball movement. McDermott for 3. It's all cotton for San Antonio. A line change here for Greg Popovich. Doug McDermott hands off to Blake Wesley, playing in just his 5th game. Johnson loses the ball. Leonard larceny. Kawhi Leonard the other way. A graceful glide into the rim. And we knew it too when he was out of the rotation a couple of weeks back. He's been good to us. He's going to be good to us again. That's where we are right now. Reggie coming off the bench, last 4 games, averaging 13 points.
I think he understands now when he comes in. He's watching Norm Powell and saying, okay, I got it. Norm comes in, he's scoring right away. Where timeouts become valuable. Another steal that time in transition.
Jackson takes it to the house. It's blocked by Johnson. They will count the basket. So how about 5 quick ones for Reggie Jackson?
Where timeouts become valuable. Another steal that time in transition.
Jackson takes it to the house. It's blocked by Johnson. They will count the basket. So how about 5 quick ones for Reggie Jackson? Kawhi Leonard makes the game look a lot easier than it actually is. And he makes it look very simple. It is very difficult. Oh, another steal. Jackson up to the races. Recovers below the bucket. 21 to 18. On the heels of the Clippers having a 19-9 lead. Johnson inside, lays it up and lays it in.
Lou able to finagle the lineups a little bit, perhaps do a little bit of experimenting with the different units.
He's had a lot of opportunities to experiment with odd lineups with all the injury. The dreaded Grammy trip. Keldon Johnson on the wing for 3. Bounces off the iron with 2 minutes. The rebound. It begins for the Clippers. Atlanta, Cleveland back-to-back this weekend. Kawhi, PG now playing regular games, and Luke Kennard involved. I knew that his shot opportunities would go down by a substantial margin, but Reggie stayed positive throughout. He has found his range. A guy that just wants to play every single night. Plays very difficult minutes as well. Oh, misses the second. Missed them both. Back the other way. Gets a foot race. He takes it to the rim. Passes back out to Kennard. Sloppy transition play for the Clippers.
A little bit out of control. Got up in the air. Had nowhere to go.
Keldon Johnson makes him pay as he lays it in. Didn't play in the second half. Didn't think that his injury was that lingering. Well, it very much was, and it has bothered him a couple of times this year. Whistle foul.
At 88 years old, still doing games, still doesn't miss a beat. And we talked about the ABA days when he was coaching the Kentucky Spurs. We see PG stick the arm in, the steal, and the emphasis at the end.
During that a year after the bubble, Greg Popovich said the big bright spot. Keldon Johnson back the other way, behind the back, slaloms his way down the lane to the rim. Dismissed by Zoo out of bounds. Johnson into Poeltl, a floater. Hits the back rim, straight up, and then straight through for Jakob Poeltl.
I think he was explaining his version of what a continuation is versus the officials, and may not have been quite the same.
I tell you what, now I know why they call you the czar of the television. That was one of the best telestration jobs you have done since we've been working together. I don't know how you do it. Jones. Johnson to the rim and lays it in. Keldon Johnson with 14, and a timeout comes the way for the Clippers. 3:26 remains in the third.
What Chandler was
Dylan Brooks and Shannon. I didn't like the scene at all.
Yeah, it was Dylan Brooks and Shannon at first, but then I think Ja's dad got involved.
And I do not blame the Memphis Grizzlies in that altercation. Keldon Johnson at the free throw line.
And then there were those who felt that that was all planned by Shannon to. I'd like to concentrate on this game. Don't try and take my attention away.
Roby for three after the flyby by Leonard, and he knocks it down. Johnson. Blake Wesley for three. Johnson with a rebound for the Spurs. Double ball fake, puts up the shot, not there, but a whistle. Back in 2015, I mentioned it earlier, played high school at Mater Dei, went to Arizona. He played for 5 teams: Detroit, Toronto, New Orleans, Lakers, and now San Antonio. Spurs have kept 10 points off of this lead. The Clippers led by 30. Johnson makes the second. It's a 19-point lead now for the Clippers. Stanley Johnson has the brawn to get inside, but then throws an errant pass out of bounds. Should over number 10.
They certainly have done that. Their execution was good. Their energy was good.
They force another turnover. Clippers on a 6-0 run to start the fourth. Can Jackson make it a 9-0 run? Rebound goes to Keldon Johnson. A couple of Johnsons out there for San Antonio. Probably a better way to say that. Rebound goes to Collins. 110-81. When Benyama would be the name, and I have a feeling that Greg Popovich would feel like coaching for several more years, and that would be a great thing. Keldon Johnson inside, lays it up and lays it in. Talking with him last year, talking about Coach Popovich, about what changes in your desire to be a coach. He said he's just loving his relationships. He's loving teaching the game again.
San Antonio, David Robinson, and came up with Tim Duncan, and you have Orlando as the floating running Oakland time. Who else has had multiple #1 picks over the years and wound up with those kind of players?
I don't know how deep the draft is. I know the top 2 is definitely solidified.
Who else has had multiple #1 picks over the years and wound up with those kind of players?
I don't know how deep the draft is. I know the top 2 is definitely solidified.